Good afternoon team, I'm Carl Roberts and welcome to Tag, Together Agreed. Moving on from our recent YouTube clips regarding mental health awareness and potentially spotting signs and symptoms and how we can support others. We're now going to move on to depression. Remember team, let's get talking. Pick up the phone, tag, it's in the palm of your hands. Click on the buttons on the YouTube channels that can assist and support you and support others. So, what we're going to cover for the next 5 minutes is depression. Okay, what do we know about depression, or what would spring to mind? We ask ourselves. Not in a good place, not feeling too good, struggling, unable to cope. And we ask ourselves, what do we know about depression and what types may that be? Well, we know that there is postnatal depression, and again, for when women have given birth, and again, potentially a traumatic experience, and again, in further videos, we'll go through post-traumatic stress disorder. And we also speak about seasonal depression. What do I mean by that? Well, if it's winter, there's going to be less light. Less light, it will change our mood. It gets darker earlier, and again, when it's dark, we don't feel so good. And again, when it's cold and not warm, we don't feel so good. Again, with the sunlight, vitamin D, again, when we're sunbathing or the sun is in our face, when we're briskly going along our daily activities, whether that be to work, school, or even exercise. Again, being active on the 5 steps of well-being. Again, it makes us feel good. So it can be a mood changer. Okay, we've got potentially 3 types of depression. We've got mild depression, moderate depression, and severe depression. And what do we mean by that? Mild depression, when potentially it can have some impact on our daily life within short periods or short spaces of time, but we can overcome that. We can maneuver around that, and potentially we accept it that sometimes throughout the day we may not feel so good. And again, we've got moderate depression when it can have significant impact on your daily life. And what do I mean by that? It's affecting your behaviours, the way that you think, feel and act, and not only affecting yourself, but again, others, whether that be at home, with our loved ones, or in work, with our work colleagues. It could impact our work, could impact our routine, and if at home, it could impact our relationships, not only making ourselves not feel very good, but also others. And then we think about severe depression. And again, what do I mean by that? It's almost impossible to move through on a daily basis, whether that be again home, within our families, potentially not even being able to get out of the bed. And again, I'm sure people watching this have potentially experienced that, and it's not a good feeling. It actually feels hard to get up and keep moving. Potentially, again, it could really affect the way we think, feel and act, and our behaviours, and also our work patterns and how we perform in work, where it's unmanageable and potentially unachievable. And again, it's not only severely impacting ourselves, but it also is at others and potentially putting others at harm or risk. Okay, so how can we potentially spot the signs and symptoms from that? Well, potentially within ourselves, if we're experiencing this, or our colleagues or loved ones. Again, we could be avoiding contact with each other, feeling that we can't talk, share and listen. Not doing well at work, underperforming, low self-esteem and low motivation, not feeling good about ourselves, questioning our own ability. And again, that's not a good feeling to have. Again, our appetite, we may lose focus on eating healthy food, maybe eating takeaway food instead, a path of least resistance, and not taking care of our bodies, sleep pattern. And again, in future YouTube clips, we'll talk about sleep and how we manage that. Lack of energy, again, feeling that we can't move, conduct our tasks, and again, becoming irritable with ourselves, not happy with ourselves, questioning ourselves, and again, others. So we ask ourselves, what can affect that? Stressful event. Again, a stressful event that may be hard for you to try and understand or explain. How did that happen? Why did it happen? Could I have done anything to change it? Overrating thoughts, overthinking. Loneliness. No one wants to feel alone. And if you ever do feel alone, get on that YouTube clip to try and support you. Pick up the phone. It's good to talk. Be a better teammate. Buddy system. Alcohol and drugs is a coping mechanism, again open to interpretation. Some people like to relax when they finish work and go for maybe a pint after work, or a pint of lager, or a pint of bitter, or a glass of red wine, or white wine, whatever that looks like, or drugs. Again, these are coping mechanisms that potentially could have an adverse effect on you. We also speak about your personality. Again, because if you're self-critical of yourself, you're always questioning yourself. Again, are you good enough? Do you fit in? Are you accepted? And your low self-esteem, not valuing yourself. Remember, team, we need to take time to look after ourselves and look after our buddies. Which brings me on to the 5 steps to well-being. Things that we need to think about in order for us to get moving, to keep working, to keep talking, to keep sharing, and more importantly, to keep listening. We need to connect with people, reach out, pick up the phone, talk, be active, release them endorphins, physical exercise. Might be going for a walk with your friend, having a nice conversation, as previous to the recent module on talking with a buddy. Learning something new, a new skill, sense of achievement, picking up on your low esteem and being self-critical. I've learned something today. Remember, in the earlier sessions, maybe think about the things we're not so good at and try and improve ourselves. Giving to others. It could just be a conversation. Could be picking up the phone. How are you? Remember, ask twice. You may get a different answer the second time. It shows we're compassionate and it shows that we're caring and we want to be engaged. Again, also mindfulness. What do I mean by that? Being mindful of your environment, being tuned into your environment, taking time for you. You matter. You matter. Okay? Think about your own thoughts, your own behaviours, your own feelings, how you think, feel and act. Yourself, how can I get better? What can I do tomorrow that will make me feel better what I'm not doing today? Should I have done that? Possibly. Could I have picked up the phone and spoke to my friend? Potentially, yes. Okay, and remember, team, pick up the phone, talk, share, and listen. Again, there's good information on the internet regarding mental health apps on the NHS, and also there's a good app called Mood Zone, and also Headspace for mindfulness. Again, have a look, investigate, see what works for you. Keep looking on the tag in social and also the other social media platforms as well, where all the information is there to support you. Remember, let's got left hand, not right hand. Let's get talking, okay? We're together in a group tag. We act as one, we work as one, and we succeed as one. Thank you for listening.